Have you ever wondered why that person never stayed? Why, no matter how hard you tried, something always kept that relationship from working out? Maybe you prayed for it. Maybe you cried over it. And maybe, even today, part of you still asks, God, why didn't you let it happen? Because when you want someone with everything in you, and God closes that door, the first feeling is never gratitude. It's confusion. It's pain. It's the silent question you don't even have the courage to say out loud. Was I not enough? But there's a possibility you may have never considered. What if that person leaving wasn't rejection, but an answer? What if God wasn't taking something away from you, but protecting you from something you couldn't yet see? Because sometimes, God's greatest act of love isn't who He brings close, it's who He keeps far away. 1. God guards your heart before He guards any relationship. There's a reason you felt so much inner resistance when you tried to move forward with that person, even when you couldn't explain why. Maybe it was a quiet uneasiness. Maybe it was a discomfort you tried to ignore because the emotional connection felt too strong to be wrong. But emotional connection was never proof of spiritual alignment. Proverbs 4:23 says, "Keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life." Notice the order comes before the relationship, not after it. God doesn't ask you to guard your heart after the heartbreak has already happened. He asks you to guard it before, because everything that flows from your life, your choices, your peace, your purpose, starts there. And 2 Corinthians 6:14 reinforces that same protection when it warns against being unequally yoked with someone who isn't walking in the same spiritual direction as you. This isn't about judging who that person was. It's about recognizing that not every soul that touches yours was destined to walk beside you. And when God intervenes before that union becomes permanent, He isn't punishing you. He's guarding what He Himself placed inside you. 2. God's no can be the answer to a prayer you never said out loud. You may have never said, "Lord, protect me from wrong choices," but your spirit asked for that every single day you sought God, even without realizing it, because every time you draw near to Him with a sincere heart, you're placing your life in His hands, whether you say the words or not. Psalm 37:23 says, "The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and He delighteth in His way." That means a direction is being shaped even when you can't see the whole map. Maybe that person seemed like the obvious next step, but what seemed obvious to you was never the same as what was aligned with the path God was already quietly confirming. And this is where faith hurts the most, accepting that a no can also be an answer to prayer, even when it feels like the opposite of everything you asked for. 3. Not every strong connection is a divine assignment. You can love someone deeply who was never meant to stay. That doesn't mean what you felt was fake. It means feeling and purpose don't always walk together. Isaiah 55:8-9 says, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith the Lord. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts." You saw potential. God saw the end of the story. You saw the good moments, the deep conversations, the feeling of finally being chosen. But God saw what would happen 5 years from now, 10 years from now, if that relationship had gone on. And that's exactly why it hurts so much. You're grieving a future that never truly existed, a future that only lived in your imagination, not in the plan God had already laid out for you. 4. God removes people from your path so they don't delay the calling He placed inside you. There's a hard truth to accept. Not everyone who enters your life is authorized to walk with you all the way to the destiny God prepared. Some people are temporary by design, not by accident. Ecclesiastes 3:1 says, "To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven." Every season of your life has a purpose, including the people who enter and leave it. And when God removes someone before you expected it, He's often preventing that person from becoming an obstacle to what He's already forming in you. Jeremiah 29:11 confirms this when it says, "For I know the thoughts that I think toward you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end." That "no" you received wasn't the absence of a plan. It was the plan protecting itself. 5. Trusting God's "no" requires the same faith as trusting His "yes." It's easy to trust God when He gives you what you asked for. But the faith that actually transforms you is the faith that keeps trusting when the answer is a closed door, a prolonged silence, a person who walks away without explanation. Proverbs 3:5-6 says, "Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct thy paths." Acknowledging God in all your ways includes acknowledging Him specifically in the ways that didn't work out. And Romans 8:28 reminds us that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are the called according to His purpose. All things, not just the good ones, not just the ones that made sense at the time. All things, including the person God never let stay. And maybe now, looking back, you're beginning to understand something that once felt impossible to accept. That goodbye that hurt so deeply may have been the most loving answer God ever gave you. Because protection doesn't always look like protection while it's happening. Sometimes it looks exactly like loss. Now I need to speak directly to you. Is there someone you still carry in your heart? Someone you sometimes catch yourself asking, "What if?" about? Have you ever considered that maybe that "what if" never needed an answer because God already answered it when He closed that door? Have you let the pain of the absence convince you that you did something wrong? Or do you have the courage to believe that God was doing something right? And what if, instead of asking why that person didn't stay, you started asking what God is preparing for the one who actually will? Because here's the truth no one told you before. You didn't lose that person. You were kept from them. And there's a massive difference between those two sentences. One carries defeat, the other carries care. God wasn't distant from your pain. He was present in it, shaping a path you'll only fully understand when you look back and realize every no was actually an "I love you too much to let this continue." If this message touched a wound still open in you, write the word "kept" in the comments, because maybe that's exactly the word your heart needed to hear today. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel, because the next message might be the confirmation you've been waiting for to finally let go of what God already let go of for you. Because one day, when the right one finally comes, you'll look back and realize every closed door was actually the path that led here.